With feet parallel and hip distance apart, put a little tiny bend in your knees, grow tall up through the crown of the head, and then just arms and shoulders. Float the arms out and up, a little bit of a lift in the upper chest as you inhale. Exhale, right the spine, so your head and eyeliner forward once more and the arms come down. 2 more like that. Big inhale, chest lifts. Eyeline might lift a little, just don't shorten the back of your neck, and then press the arms down, come back to your upright stance. One last one, big inhale. And then finish this one with the arms reaching out towards the sides. Peel your fingertips back, reach out through the heels of the hands, and then if you need more stretch, drift the hands and arms a little bit further behind you. You should feel a tingle that radiates right down your forearms and into your palms, opening up your pecs a little. Keep the openness in the chest, but just bring the arms a little bit forward so you can now see them in your peripheral vision. Right arm floats up. Take an easy side bend over and let your hips sway over to the right. Breathe that up through center. Left arm reaches high and over. You might even slightly bend your right knee here to let you get deeper into the shape. We have 1 more each side. Right arm lifts and go over. And come up. Last one. And come back. Arms lower heavy. Nod your chin and roll down. Hang nice and heavy at the bottom. If your hands are on the mat, great. If not, just keep reaching for the mat. From here, 5 times, bend your 2 knees and then press the floor away. We'll do that again. Bend and press. You might lay your chest on your thighs, but I'd like you to still be lifting up through the abdominals. For those who work to the reformer footwork with me, think of pressing evenly into your feet and into the mat as you press to your straight legs. Having found that position, I'd like you to walk your hands out, lower the knees down, and find a 4-point kneel. Once you're there, coming into a cat-cow sequence, round your back up, try to move the entire spinal column, and then change that, extending and taking the eyeline slightly forward. I think of practicing the curves in the spine, which you are not as inherently good at. So as I go into the camel portion, I'm going to think more of my upper back than of collapsing into the flexibility I have in my low back. Round up and extend. I'd like you to do 2 more of these. Try not to let the shoulder girdle move or take over. You're changing the shape of your spine, and it kind of moves in between those 2 shoulder blades. One last one. They stay reasonably quiet. And extend. From this last camel, just find your long curves. Flex your feet so you can put weight in the toes, and then I'd like you to walk your hands forward, straighten your legs, and for a brief moment, you're in a push-up position. From there, step your right foot forward towards your right hand. Holding in a long runner's lunge, let your pelvis drop a little bit closer towards the concrete, and then rocking your back left heel back and forth. Moving to the metatarsals, the toes, maybe a little bit of a stretch in through the calves and the other muscles in the lower leg. Just 2 more there too. And last one. Come to a neutral ankle, lower your back knee down lightly, turn the back foot. Come up to an upright lunge. Lean the pelvis a little bit more forward. I'm hoping you feel some opening in the front of your left hip. From there, option number 1 is stay. Or take your left arm, same arm as your back leg, and reach it on a diagonal to the right. Hold there, actively extending through the fingertips. Get that whole left side opening up a little. And then lower that arm back down. Once it's down, turn the front right foot out to about 45 degrees. And then I'd like you to match that 45-degree angle with your left hand so that you can rotate a little bit, twisting or rotating the left side of the pelvis down to the mat. Now, option number 1, stay right here and play around with it. It feels a little different on everybody's body. Option number 2, come down to your left forearm. Twist a little deeper, maybe take the focus back towards your back foot. Final option, reach through a right arm, bend your back knee, grab the foot in some fashion and give it a very gentle pull. Should be tons of stretch in the front of your left thigh. Untangling yourself by releasing the back foot, turning yourself back towards the runner's lunge, recentering the front leg, and then straighten your back leg to extend. I'd like you to step the back foot forward by about a foot, and then aim to straighten both legs. You're bowing down to that front shin. You can stay there. You need a little bit more. You could always work towards a flex in the front foot, and I'm hoping tons of hamstring, maybe some bonus calf here. Just a breath is enough. And then lower that foot. Bend a little bit into that knee. Put some weight in your hands and just step to change your feet. You've got the left foot forward. We take that whole series again. Find energy through your back leg in the runner's lunge and rock your back heel back and forth. 2. Maybe you almost feel like the reach back of the heel is working in opposition to the forward reach of the crown of the head. So you're energetically lengthening the whole of the spine. Take your last one. Find a neutral back ankle and lower that back knee lightly down. Turn the foot. From here, come up. Take a moment to send your hips a little bit further forward in the shape. And then if you wish, right arm reaches. It's kind of an in-between position. You're not exactly forward, you're not exactly side, but you're on a forward diagonal. Be there for the moment. And then you can lower that arm all the way down to the mat. Turn your front foot out to about 45 degrees. Match that angle with your front palm and begin to rotate a little bit into that shape. It should wrap around the underneath of your left hip, possibly some in the front of the right hip as well. From there to deepen, come down to the forearm if you wish. Rotate a little bit more. Listen to your body. If this feels enough, stay there. Or you can take that left arm long, reach it up, and find your back foot. Once you've got it, draw it in. Getting into the quadricep group. And then you can unwind that shape. Make your way back towards your runner's lunge. Step your back foot forward by about a foot. And then find yourself into that straight-legged hamstring focus stretch. Square-ish hips, but they're not going to be perfect here. That's not a comment on you, more a comment on the shape. And then you can flex your front foot if you wish. And having had a moment or two there, relax the front foot. Once again, put weight in the hands and step your 2 feet back. Find something like a downward dog. So that inverted V position, pressing your underarms towards the tips of your toes, and then reaching your tailbone up towards the ceiling. This might feel good to hold this in stillness, breathing into your back and broadening the back. Or you might want to bend one knee and the other and just get a little bit more permissive with it. If you find a stretch that feels good, hang out there for a moment. Having taken some of those, lower your knees down, bringing them together as you do, and then find yourself in a child's pose. From there, you can roll yourself up. We're not lingering in any of the stretches, but you can go back and revisit them for sure. Shift your bum towards the right, and then grab either one or both of your ankles with your left hand. And if you can, the feet and the legs are stacked up. From there, breathing your right arm up. On an exhalation, go over into a long side bend. And then just inhale that back up. If your right shoulder lifts a little, that's okay, as long as you feel like you're getting an opening under that underarm. And come back. We'll just do one more of those. Mat work Mermaid. And then holding, bend the right elbow. Hand comes to behind your head. Turn the head to look to that right elbow. And then on an exhalation, twist into this really gnarly contorted shape where you're looking to your back heel. And then rotate back to your starting position, eye line up to the elbow. Then we do 2 more. And rotate up on the inhale, one last one. And reopen. Right arm can reach long, take it up and all the way down. Then you can stay where you are. We'll just bring the bum over to the other side. Grab firmly. Everybody's got a better side bending side. You just saw mine. This will be a little rougher on this side. As you exhale, go over. And then inhale, come up. And I think with these stretches, because we're not in a classical Pilates world at all, just follow sensation, do what feels good. Hold there longer if you need. Over to stay on this one. Hand behind the head, turn. So you will get a little bit of opening in through the neck as you rotate and very gently pull on your own skull. Reopen. Eyeline is up. Exhale for 2. And come up. And one last one. And come up. Extend that left arm. Finish by bringing it all the way back up and lower. Excellent. We have a little bit of a change here. So you're on the mat but facing towards the long edge. Extend your left leg out and bring that right leg in front of you. Once you're there, soft and relaxed left foot. Turn to bring your hands to the outer left thigh and then start to round over the leg. It's not about you reaching for your foot. We could emphasize that, but I'm not as interested. I'd like you to aim to feel the right hand side of your low back. To that end, allow the right back half of the rib cage to lift up away from the right back half of your pelvis. And if you're not feeling it, twist a little more or bend a little further until you get that opening right in the side. Once you've taken a breath or 2 there, just walk yourself back up and out of that shape. We'll swap the legs, staying where you are otherwise. Sit as upright on your 2 sits bones as you can. Spiral, find that outer right leg, and then slide down. And sometimes you have to play with this one a little bit to find that spot where you can get the opening in through the left side of your low back. Muscle there is quadratus lumborum, and it's kind of a grumpy one sometimes on people. So go gently here. You want to create some opening, but there's no point in poking the angry bear if the muscle is in crisis. From there, you can start to walk yourself all the way up. Swing around so that you're on your stomach on your mat. Starting with the legs about mat distance apart, slightly turned out. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Gently wrap the elbows in towards your sides. Feel broad across the front of the body. And then with an engaged low belly, reach forward through the crown of the head. As you start to come up, maybe you come up towards straight arms, maybe you don't. Entirely up to you. And then take your time, lowering down, stretching and decompressing. As you rise up, it's almost like you're clawing the fabric of the mat, pulling your body forward. If you do have a supple spine, you can take your eye line up a little. Just try not to shorten the back of the neck too much. And then slow, easy release down. Take one last one there. My goal with the stretching series was that we would target most of the major muscle groups, and especially some of the culprit ones, the ones that are tight that cause us problems. From that shape, flex your feet, straighten the legs, and as one strong movement, press up to your push-up position. From there, take your time to walk your hands and your feet towards each other till you're once again in a forward fold. Bending the knees, wrap your hands around the back of your bent knees and grab your elbows. From here, keep your knees bent. Try and lift your torso up off your thighs, rounding your back a little bit like the cat stretches we did. I'm hoping this gives you a delicious opening in your low back. If it doesn't, pull the upper body up a little more actively. Drop your bum down lower by bending the knees, and that'll change where you feel it. Take a breath or 2 somewhere that feels good and useful to you. And then you can release all of that back into your forward fold. From here, we've got our final stretch, bending just your right knee slightly. Rotate and send your left arm up towards the ceiling. If you can, push the floor away with the right hand, and then we'll take that down and switch to the other side. the arm comes down, bend your knees, soften all the joints, and kind of like a rag doll, just stack yourself back up. Once you are all the way back up to vertical, one single reach of the arms out and up for a big long breath. And then the arms come down, you exhale, and stay nice and tall. Excellent.